pretty ordinary morning, Monday morning, just going down to Smithfield to CommBank and trying to get my CommSec account resurrected. I think that's what's going to happen today, but you never know with banks. I got a call from CommSec on Friday morning, so they say things are ready to go. I've just got to go down to the branch itself and get things organised. So that should be another task to tick off, and presumably when I get home I can log into CommSec and finally check my shares at least. Not sure whether I'm going to get Netbank access. That may not be granted until the fraud case is completed. So I'll ask today and see what they say. So I had a lazy weekend, didn't do anything on the weekend. The weather was better. Should have done some mowing. It doesn't matter. I posted a video yesterday which was the low point with this whole saga with the hacking, and it certainly gets better after that. I felt pretty bad about sort of harping on about my dilemma, a bit self-indulgent, but I wanted to show people how it actually struck me at the time that I found out about all these things. And certainly it's my mood overall has got better since then, because I've chipped away at things and you know, got mobile access and a credit card and what have you, and that's helped a lot, lifted my spirits. So, but at the point when I did that video, it was a pretty low point. So anyway, we'll see how it all goes. Just gotta get to the bus stop, and I wonder if that crappy old couch is still there, that flea-bitten couch, or seat I should say. I don't want to glorify it with the term couch, it's certainly not that. Yeah, well, we'll see. It's quite cool actually, it's quite a cool breeze at the moment. This overcast weather, it'll warm up, but it's almost nippy, almost wind cheetle weather. Anyway, have they still got that that piece of furniture at the bus stop, I wonder? I would probably say no, but I can't tell you. Oh God, no, I think he's still there. Yeah. Oh my God. Definitely that should go into the tip. Yeah, I don't know who dragged it out there. They obviously thought it was a good idea, but I wonder if anybody's had the guts to sit on the bloody thing. Oh God. No, that's just not a good idea. Well, I've just got out of the bank at about 11:30, so I've been in there for 2 hours. And look, I think they got things resolved with CommSec. It looks as though I'll probably be able to access that account if the temporary email, the temporary password arrives by email. And I'm not sure whether that's going to happen, because I did check my email on the mobile and it hadn't arrived about an hour ago or half hour ago, so I'm a bit worried about that. But then we're just on hold constantly for almost an hour, getting through the Netbank trying to find out why I'm still locked out of that account. So it's been quite frustrating. The girl helping me, she was very good. Initially I was a bit confused about what to do, but she got a, you know, she did a very good job, very good at multitasking. So it's just basically got to hang in there, and hopefully we'll get this resolved at some stage. Fingers crossed I've got CommSec access. That's my main thing. If we get that achieved today, that's something. Well, I'm going to take the beast out on another ride just up to the local shops. Bit windy today, so I don't know how that's going to be, but with the paddle assist it'll be all right going up Gannett Street. As you can see, I've used a bit of juice on it. the majority's still there, but this is the battery that goes on. It's quite heavy, and you've got to push this button to activate it. And it's very quirky. The other day I couldn't get the thing to get the green lights going, indicating that it was actually operational for a while. So it's got a few quirks to it. And of course I have to wear the baggy shorts to actually even ride this bike because it's so high. Anyway, we'll see how it goes today. It's been a long time since I've ridden it because I had the cold and everything. And it's been very wet, but today looks pretty nice. So we'll get up the shops. I've got to buy some grog for a do tomorrow at a neighbour's place, and they want us to be there at 4:30. And what's on tomorrow at 4:30? It's the AFL Grand Final, the last thrilling moments, hopefully. I'm hoping that Brisbane's competitive. If they're not, it doesn't worry me getting to their place by 4:30. Otherwise, I won't be there then. But yeah, the people organising this do are all from New South Wales, and obviously it's not high in their psychology. The AFL Grand Final, I understand that, but it's a classic. But that was nice to be invited, and I'll catch up with Alan and his wife today at the pub, and can thank them for the invite. So I hope they don't mind, because it's two couples and me being the only single guy. I hope I'm not sort of like a fifth wheel, but we'll see. Anyway, I'll go for this ride and hopefully it'll be all right. I'm just about to test my new toy. I finally put it together. This is the high pressure gun. That's the yeah, what is it called? The Z2. The Z2 from Bunnings. I bought this and put it together today, and I've got the water coming from the actual tap just here, and I'll just turn it on so I'll get the water going into the unit. Okay, and so it's going in there. Oh shit, it's coming out. What's it? Oh, maybe that's just it might just have to drain, I think, because I'm supposed... Okay. All right, well, I better turn it off. I didn't expect that. I thought... Okay, I'll turn that off and let it drain. Because I've got to attach this high-pressure hose to this particular gun that I'm holding here. And so we'll do that. Got 10 minutes before the grand final starts, so I should be able to just do a test run just before the bounce of the ball. Outside power plug here, there's two of them, so the power's also connected to this device. I will now switch it on and hope that something happens. Oh, there you go. It definitely did something. Maybe I'd have to push this button. We'll just do a test run now and see how we go. And this was a total failure. It just dribbled out of the end of this thing. I didn't get any power at all. It made a bit of noise. It definitely was working, but there was no pressure whatsoever, so something's definitely amiss. I'll have to go back to the drawing board on this one. A classic grand final. I've got to make it to a friend's place going for dinner. I've got to walk there, and it's just... I just couldn't leave the broadcast because it was such a close game. As it turned out, Collingwood won by 4 points against a very gallant Brisbane. But I would have preferred Brisbane to win, but you know, it's a bit frustrating watching for so long and seeing Collingwood win. But you know, that's the way it just ends up sometimes. You can't get what you want. So it's good I'm going out, have a few drinks with friends, and I'm going to be over an hour late because I was supposed to head off with Steve and Yvonne in this street at about 4:30, and it's 5:20 now. So, well, actually about 4 o'clock we was going to head off because it probably takes 20 minutes at least to get there. So, yeah, but I had to stay to the end. It was just such... I mean, you just don't get grand finals like that. The the lead kept alternating between the two sides, and that just doesn't happen in modern day grand finals. Usually it's a very one-sided contest. So, but in this case it was just gripping. It's one of the best games of the year, and I thought Collingwood would win. They just, after half time, they just seem to have a bit more stamina, and that's really what it's about. So, you know, it's a 4-quarter game, it's a long game, and that does count. A lot of physical and mental toughness. So I'm disappointed, but there were a couple of pretty bad decisions. There's one there where the ball was kicked out of bounds and the umpire didn't call it. So Brisbane didn't get a free kick that they should have had. And there was a lot of holding on of players. Now, I don't know if it was just Collingwood. I know certainly Collingwood players are holding on to a lot of Brisbane players, but yeah, they should have penalised them, because I think that's an area where they're pretty slack. But anyway, it's good that I'm going out. I haven't seen this. This is a place I haven't been to before, so I hope my navigation skills are okay. Yeah, I think it'll take me about 20-25 minutes, so we're not supposed to be eating till 6:30, so it won't be an issue as far as that's concerned. But I mean, they're a couple. Alan and Madeline are a couple, and Steve and Yvonne obviously a couple too. So they get on really well together. So I told Yvonne I felt like I might be a fifth wheel in that equation, you know. But she said no, it's not an issue at all. Cause I was just surprised to get the invite. But as it turned out, it couldn't have been a worse day they picked as far as the time is concerned, because you know the grand final, they're all from New South, and I guess it's just not in their consciousness. And this happened to be a classic match on top of it, so you just couldn't leave early. Normally I would, you know. It's not my side playing or anything, so, but couldn't do it this time. Just had to watch the whole thing. Probably arriving, I'd say, yeah, over there, just heading across where the beach is. You get quite a few aircraft coming down this way, but they're fairly high up, so you don't notice it compared to being Central Cairns. There's Alex Seckler's old place. It must have been sold, I presume. There's no board out the front, so whether the other people have taken possession, I'm not sure. But yeah, just walking down Kawara Street, and then have to do a right-hand turn up Poolwood, and then turn into an estate where Alan and Madeline live, and they've been there for over a decade. I actually looked up their property online. I think it said that was purchased only like 140. Prices have really gone up, and that was back in 2008, I think, something like that, or maybe 2006. It was a while back. And so yeah, they've been here quite some time, over a decade. So we're all Johnny-come-latelys, Yvonne, Steve and myself. But yeah, happy I'm here. Much happier than just in Central Cairns or back in Melbourne for that matter. So it's a good move, got no regrets. All the way up Poolwood Road, not all the way, but probably a third maybe of the length. It's quite a long road, and do a right hand turn into the housing estate, and then walk down the street, and then do a left hand turn, then a right hand turn. I should be there with any luck. Just people out walking their dogs. There's a lot of people out and about this time of day. I suppose it's a good time to do all that sort of stuff. Oh, I'm looking forward to having a glass of red. I'm going to earn it. Ah, poor old Brisbane. Gee, it must be hard losing a grand final, especially a close one by 4 points. Psychologically, that would be a lot to handle, because the poor bastards are usually out in the field with the winners. I think that's a bit cruel, but that's what they do normally. But there's huge housing estates on this side. if we had some pathways and little river crossings or creek crossings, I could have got here a lot faster by just cutting across. I'm quite close to where they live, but there's absolutely no access unless you want to go. You have to bushwhack and you can't get across the river or the creek. That's the problem. There needs to be some little bridges built. Now I'll go down the end here. There should be another one coming off round the corner. That's not the one I need to go down, but the next one. So it'll make me feel a bit better if I see that. I'm pretty sure that this is one. I couldn't see the sign because it's on the other side of the road. I think it's Narrabeen or something like that, the name of the street. But yeah, there's the other street there. That's good. So I don't go down that one. I go down one after it. And we should be in business. Oh, there's the park. Yep. Checked it out on Street View, so I'm pretty confident now. And I've got a picture of the house, so I don't think there'll be any hassles. I'm pretty well there. It's not that far, but it would have been even closer if I could have cut across all that bushland there with the creek, which would be nice if they could do something like that. This is what they had in Forest Lake. You could actually, if on foot or bike, you could cut across and get from point A to point B, probably faster than a car because you're going direct. And it'd be nice if they could do the same sort of thing here. But of course it costs money unless you can get volunteers to do it. Anyway, this is the street here. Oh, here we go, got the name. Yep, Narrabeen. They're in a nice spot. They're covered. They've got a lot of bush around them. They've got a little park here, as well as that bushland that I've got down the end of my street too. I'm a bit worried because I actually put through a transaction on my credit card yesterday with First Choice buying some grog. They've got a 10% sale, which is much better than the sales where they got, say, $10 or $20 off, because it's a disincentive to spend more apart from anything else. And maybe that's why they've changed it, because they figured that people have made that same decision. So anyway, I tried making the transaction, buying 3 bottles of my Clean Skin gin, which was only $39 at First Choice. It's actually $1 more at Liquorland. So I tried putting the transactions through with that and a couple of bottles of rum as well, and everything seemed fine until I had to get the stupid 4-digit confirmation code that ANZ required from my mobile, and of course had to get a resend on that. That seems to be what happens virtually every time with that. I never get it the first time. Anyway, so I get that. I put it in and I push pay. We go, and then it pushed me through to one of the another screen, which is from my virus protection mob, and it looked as though it had been paid, but when I checked out my email and my mobile, there was no message from First Choice, so I'm assuming it didn't go through. So it's all very confusing and a bit off-putting given what's happened to me of recent times. The thing I can do is put through the same order through Liquorland. They've got a sale finishing tomorrow, so I can do that. The only thing is I'll pay about $3 more because the cost of their Clean Skin gin is actually $1 cheaper at First Choice. But I mean, it's not a big deal. It's only $3 difference, but you know, why pay more, I guess. But I could try Liquorland and hope that transaction would go through on the credit card, but I'm just hoping there's no issue with the credit card. That's the thing that really freaks me. So I'm trying not to use it that much. But anyway, fingers crossed that's the case. Right now I'm just going down to Smithfield to hopefully get my my Netbank account opened up. So that'll be the next task out of the way. The big one will be trying to get ANZ account reactivated online, but I'm almost given up on it. I almost think of what I'll have to do is just open another account at the Bendigo Bank, which is in Smithfield, and get my pension paid into them, and see how that goes. But I don't know. It's going to be with everything that's happened with my identity theft. I'm a bit worried about things. I might have to actually get a digital identity to get to, so I've got a blanket that can get me into other areas. That might be the way to go, but it's all a bit confusing at the moment. Yeah, ANZ just put me onto this 13 number, and you can't talk to a human. You just get they ask you for PIN numbers that haven't been allocated. It's a real pain in the ass. So I'm thinking it might be better just to get a bank that's actually got a branch in Smithfield and just transfer across, but it could be difficult to do. It's a real quagmire trying to change details with banking if you've got identity theft. It just makes life that more complicated. So yeah, it's a bit of an issue. I'm getting the early bus today, and I want to get an HDMI cable from Kmart. They're about the same price. I checked them out online. They're about the same price. So might as well buy it from the local retailer. And also need to get a haircut. My back hair's growing a bit in the rear. I was hoping to get that done in Vietnam, of course, on the cheap, but I'll pay $30 here for a senior's cut, and that should. I suppose that's not so bad these days. Anyway, I'll just wait for the bus. Should be here any minute. I've gone fairly smoothly, apart from the fact that normally all my hair's gone up having a haircut. That was pretty savage. I got my HDMI cable without any problems. I got the haircut, and I just coming out of the CBA branch, and finally my account has been resurrected. I've got a temporary password, so things are looking good. I'm just trying to see what the time is. Okay, 10:01. Okay, that's fine. So it's a little just after 10 o'clock. The branch opened at 9:30. Just got there before they opened up, and got it all fixed up in half hour. So that's not bad. And they didn't have to make a phone call. They did all the stuff on their screens, and they've supplied me with a temporary password via SMS, so I'm a happy chappy. It was a dream run this morning. I mean, when things go right, I acknowledge it, and I really couldn't have gone much better today, because I thought that when I turned up to CBA, to the branch, the woman would have to wait on the phone for an excess of an hour like last time, and I'd have to wait there, but it wasn't like that at all. She did all her notes on screen and was able to issue me with a temporary password herself. So it was just perfect. Supermarket shopping was pretty standard, but the one weird thing is I didn't have any garlic. I've never struck that before. Even the guy in the green section was a bit surprised when I mentioned it to him. But I got the bus. I decided to get the 110 bus because I just missed the 111 to Kawara. So I got that bus and got off at the stop up at on the highway. And the time it was supposed to get there was 10:36 in the morning. Then I looked it up, and the 111 was due at 10:37. So in theory, it should have worked really well. And this was one time when theory and practice met one another. Excuse me, because the Kawara bus was just behind. I got on that, and got straight back home really quickly. And not only that, the bus driver stopped at the unofficial bus stop in Starling Street, which hasn't happened for so long. So all round, just a perfect dream run this morning. So there's a nice change, because I've had a little bit of stress lately, so it's nice to have a incident-free morning. The Navy's in as I walk towards the rendezvous point to walk down to the beach house with Steve, my neighbour. So yeah, a lot of people have boats around here. It's not unusual. Boats and dogs. and lots of refuse, vegetation refuse. It's not unusual either. Actually, my frond situation isn't too bad at the moment. It's quite a warm day today. It's 28 degrees, so almost summer weather. Bit more humid too. I felt it last night. I didn't have the sheets on until probably late in the morning, so that's indication of a fairly warm night. So hopefully my good luck today will continue. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.